So it's 5:14, and some may say that we're behind the schedule. I think we're ahead of the times. Because until the final clock has struck, until the final doom has settled in, there's still this glimmer of light. There's still this distance of time. There's still this space for cooperation and exchange. And you know what? We don't have the right to remain silent, because everything that we keep silent about will be used against us and against people who depend on us. And we depend on those people as well. So this conference has been held in many voices. It has regarded the situation from many aspects and many views. And of course, to overcome Russia's war against Ukraine, you have to come over to each other, to become closer, more coherent, more consistent. And this is not just the power and play on words. This is the work that you do on a daily basis. Our final panel today is supposed to last for 28 minutes now, not 30. I don't see one of the participants on the stage. Yes, I do invite you, Yuliya Erner. Please welcome Yuliya Erner. She's from CivilMPlus, who were and are and will be key to the success of such conferences. You also know Oleksandr Pavlichenko from the Ukrainian Helsinki Human Rights Union. You know Oleksandr Romantsova, the Nobel Peace Prize winner for 2022, and one of the hearts and souls of the Center for Civil Liberties. And you have Laurynas Vaičiūnas, who is from the College for Eastern Europe in Wojnowice, which is in Poland, but he says it's Lithuania, and anyway, that's the heavily entangled history, and one that suggests that we can live with each other. Ladies and gentlemen, my question to you is, please, within 5 minutes each, designate the 3 major takeaways or results or conclusions that you have arrived at during this conference, and probably ask one question which you still find unanswered, so that we know what to talk about during the next conference. And we'll start with Yuliya.
My name is Yuliya Erner. I'm part of the team of the Secretariat of CivilMPlus. And the platform will be 5 years old in the next month. It was founded in Vienna in December 17. And I was really impressed how much of the work has been done at the moment the Russian aggression started in the beginning of this year. Many people asked me if it is possible to go on with our work after the start of the war, and nobody was sure. We met in the beginning every week. We, the partners of CivilMPlus, and we are about 20 NGOs from Ukraine and other European countries. Some people joined us in this time. nobody left us, and we were able to persist. We were able to speak with each other, although we were in different countries and perceived the situation from different angles. And I think everything what has been done on the basis of the platform before 24th February 22 was not in vain. We were very good prepared for everything which happened afterwards, and we proceed with our work. I will only put some few theses about the most important things which mark our work. First of all, it is trust, because trust allows us to speak to each other. Trust creates a so-called secure space to discuss, to be open to each other, to criticize, to ask unpopular questions, and say things, so-called sensitive things. Another added value is the knowledge of the context and the sensitivity for the situation, which has been also mentioned in many roundtables today. And the mindset, all of us are in different places, and we have also different backgrounds, personal backgrounds, institutional backgrounds, but because we are able to speak to each other, we develop, all of us are teachers and pupils, so we develop a common mindset. It's a very difficult work, but it is possible. And the last added value I would like to mention is the ability to act. I was very impressed in the first day, yesterday, somebody mentioned the citation of Alice in Wonderland. Nowadays we have to go very quick, not to stop. And if we want to come forward, we have to move twice so quick. Actually, I feel like this, but I don't think this is the right approach. I think the proactive action and the ability to share the resources and to unite enables us for a joint action, and then we are more up to date, or even a step ahead of others, and are able to foresee what will happen next, or maybe also to do the things which can prevent something which could happen.
Thank you, Yuliya, and give her a big round of applause. Because she, I think, fit in what was happening here. And now, Laurynas.
Okay, thank you. I'll connect to what you said at the beginning. It's all about being entangled, and I had the pleasure of moderating a roundtable on the support in Visegrad countries and the Baltic countries, and I think the general message was overall that these countries are so entangled with Ukraine, and it's nice to be entangled if we can only be helpful and win this war. Just to be very brief, when it comes to the three things that I would probably like to, we as the roundtable and the people at the discussion saw as being important. One thing is, despite our hopes for a quick victory and a quick end to the war, I think most of the things that we wanted to say is about long-term planning, and even the organizations that do well in the short term and take the initiative forward. I think for us as Central European partners of Ukraine, a very important thing is about long-term action, long-term planning, and having maybe even doing some sort of institutionalization and so on, but being prepared in the long term to fight and do the advocacy, do the humanitarian work, be this work now, military aid, weapons deliveries to as much as civil society can do that, or so on, but thinking about long-term situations. This will change. Maybe in the future we'll be rebuilding schools, but this is one thing. The other thing is about investing in capacity building and human resources. All of the big and small institutions have this thing, so civil society initiatives and so on. We are in a much better situation than our Western partners, but for Ukraine, we need to invest a lot in our capacity to do things and in our human resources, because this unprecedented situation has meant that we cannot do everything that we would like to do to the best of our abilities, and be it paperwork or other things. I mean, and the other thing is that we would probably need to invest in this capacity and human resources, not to be instrumentalized by the state, because what many institutions have said, sometimes when the state can't do something, it just gives the function to the civil society, and the civil society is not only there, these civil society organizations are not only there to be used as tools by bigger actors, be it state or international non-governmental organizations. Civil society is very happy to cooperate, but the point is about being strong and having a sense of agency. And one final thing, to bring in a voice from Ukraine, which is also important, I think, supporting not only in military terms and humanitarian terms, but our institutions from Central Europe have a very good role in supporting Ukrainian civil society at the moment in terms of state building and so on, fighting things that do not seem like a priority now, but helping to strengthen the state. We have the authority, our civil society actors, our politicians have the authority to help and actually help the watchdog function that some of the Ukrainian civil society organizations fulfill. And then finally, I had to ask a question.
Yes,
that didn't remain. Do. Okay, so our question is, I just came up with it because I don't know, we had to prepare it, but this: how do we mainstream Ukraine in the EU? How do we have and restore this energy from the sun, from this event, from everything, to keep the energy, to keep the tempo going, and never forget and never let go?
Very good. Applause to Laurynas and to everyone who had the pleasure to be moderated by him. And now, Oleksandr Pavlichenko.
Thanks for this opportunity to participate in this event. And I may remind last year, exactly in November, we had in COVID time such a forum in Berlin and in Kyiv. And I'm almost sure that next year we will have the next forum in Kyiv and in Berlin, in peaceful Berlin and peaceful Kyiv, without blackouts, airstrikes, and with even more participants than in these 2 days. And I remind, my quotation of Carl Bildt. He said it in 2015, on the second year of the invasion of Russia. He told, well, you may not now see, but it's true, the past may not win the future. So you are, Ukraine, contemporary country. Russia is 19th century country, so they may not win you by the nature of the development of the history. So, and now we see that we are in very crucial point when the past fight with the contemporary democracy, values and history. And we discussed in our panel this morning the issue of documentation, issue of accountability, and 3 main points here are: A, the accountability should be established, and accountability that should be with justice, because peace without justice is not the peace for, let's say, for a long time. And the quotation done by Anton Korinevich. And here I have to stress the second very important issue of joint, even not cooperation, but joint actions of all level of society, public servants, civic society, local self-government in this regard, judiciary, parliament, and today's demonstrate that we have possibility to discuss with the parliamentarians, with the key actors on state level. We failed to discuss it due to our technical problems with the General Prosecutor representative, Yuliya Belousov, but we discussed it with him yesterday. But it's good sign that we are together, we are on the same leg, and we speak in same words. It's very important. We have to move from political to judicial level, as it was discussed, and have well and properly established legal standards to construct the new model of accountability, and it will be the pillar for the future Ukraine that is burning now for next dozen years. And last, third point, documentation. Documentation is also crucial point for the whole work to create the legal grounds for all the processes mentioned before. I mean, for accountability, for creation, the new historical truth matrix for the future Ukraine. Without it, we will not create our past really reflected and prepared for no return situation. And here in this process, we also see the common efforts and activity by all the actors, like prosecutors, law enforcement officers, officials, civic activists, documentators from different fields, and we combine our efforts to have the single results for the creation, the, let's say, total database and total memory. We will not forget what Russia has done for Ukraine in these last 8 years, and it will be our weapon for our victory, not just the let's say facts that will demonstrate that we are victims. No, it will be our weapon in judicial means. It will be the reasons for our support by our colleagues and friends, and we will get the international partners that will join us in this process, and it was demonstrated today.
Thank you very much. Applause. And Oleksandra Romantsova.
Thank you. Thank you for possibility to speak. And you know, it's really important for us that we have a possibility joined with the people who care about Ukraine in safety place. And I really hope that next year it will be safety place in Kyiv and maybe in even Mariupol somewhere. And Simferopol, yeah, sure.
Akhmezjit, which is the true name of Simferopol.
Okay, sure. So, and our roundtable was about, first of all, people who hosting in the territory of Russia Federation or territory which occupied by Russia Federation. And we have like 3 main points, like always, 3. And first of all of them need to be released. But second one, we need do a lot that at the moment when we have a possibility to release them, they was alive, they was enough healthy to do that, and after they part in war, have a possibility to have a peaceful life. We both told about prisoners of war, people who start to be combatant and fighting for defending of Ukraine, and civilians. Through the different procedure we speak about people who was kept and forcibly transferred to the territory of Russia Federation in occupied zone. We speak about people who not passed so-called filtration and what happened during this time. And more important, that all of these people can be released and can be supported till this point if civil society will be together. From both sides of really hard board now, I mean in Russia Federation and Ukraine. A lot of people in Russia Federation who truly want to support Ukraine, not only because their state attacked, but because it's part of their wellness, and they do that even if we will speak about situation in Russia Federation. In one moment, it can be argument why they can be arrested and or why they can be pressured down in other way, but they want to do that. And it's really important for us to find all the people who in Russia Federation can support Ukrainian prisoners and help to release them, help support them till this down. So it's possible. But last one, third message, it's not only solve the problem, few, I think near to 20,000 people who now prisoners of Russia Federation. But we needed to solve the problem that Russia Federation do that and do that every time when they have such possibility. Now we have more than 20,000 prisoners because we have all the people in the territory occupied by Russia Federation, it's the prisoners. And I think all the people who have any opposite state position inside the Russia Federation possible can be potential prisoners same. So we need to stop exactly system which produced prisoners of people just because they want to defend their wellness, but just because they want to be alive in occupied territory, and just because they want to have other state, normal state. And Ukraine exactly dreaming about normal neighbors, not relatives, and not aggressors. So that's why for us, really important, all our joint actions in that, both civil society, politicians, and other diplomats and other movements. That's why we will propose a statement which with organizers send it for all the participants of this forum. And we'll be really glad if you support it by your signs. And we have a possibility to spread this information for diplomacy and politicians. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you all. And this still leaves me 3 minutes to thank the people whom moderators usually thank. And this time I do this with all the sincerity. And this concerns our technical team, of course. Applause for them. The translators and interpreters. The catering team, I think, deserve also some applause. The team of CivilMPlus, who applied so much effort, successful effort, to provide us with the work. We did not always stick to the schedule, but in the end, I'm sure we made the best that we could of it. So CivilMPlus and Plus and Plus, and of course to the masters of these premises, of this house, which for 2 days, oh yes, come. Yes. Please. Please. You remember, or maybe you remember, maybe you have forgotten, but when I was opening the conference yesterday, I quoted Nicole, one of the characters from this marvelous exhibition of comic, who said, in this situation I start to ask questions how I may help. And then I said that you are not asking questions, although you are asking questions, but you are actually providing answers. And when I asked these 4 people to ask a question which remained unanswered, 3 of them did not do this. But I'm sure that tomorrow they will ask themselves in the first turn, what shall I do next? One of the words that is very common, in my opinion, is too common in the civil society sphere, is stakeholders. Everyone is a stakeholder, but the stakes are so high that we shall understand what is at stake these days. And without you as stakeholders, without you as actors, without you as civil activists and active civilians, what we set as a name, overcome Russia's war against Ukraine, won't happen. But I've seen you, and I know that this will happen. It will require a lot of effort. It will require blood and tears and the beating of hearts. And one of us spoke these days that the palms of our hands should have the same temperature. I still doubt this, especially in COVID conditions. But you can look each other in the eye. Please do this. Everyone, just turn to your left, turn to your right, look deep into the eyes of your neighbors and see the trust, the belief, the conviction, and know that we shall overcome. Thank you, everyone.
Some very, very last words also of a big thank to all of you for your coming, for energy and for your work every day under such circumstances. There are under circumstances of war every day. And to all who helped us to organize it, to do this great conference. I'm very happy about this conference, really. Because it shows not only that we are really coming and have this common ground, this trust about which spoke Yuliya and also Andriy, but also the possibility to come stronger, to become really acting, and yes, we know why we are doing it. That it's, of course, the civil society contribution to overcoming the war, to win this war for Ukraine. And the CivilMPlus community is growing, and we are happy also that we started it 5 years ago, because now it is fulfilling its mission to connect us, each of other, and to rebuild this support. Mutual one, but also for our colleagues out of the platform, out of the organizations presented here, to other people who are not involved so far, but who will hear about it, and really to organize this resistance, resilience, and a new energy. And this will be on victory. This will be on overcoming the follows of the war and on the restoration, really as a very contemporary and European country together with all of us, and that will be great. We have to face now a hard winter. We see this as a winter of solidarity. This is a slogan our team member Tim found, and we think that it is very valuable for our mindset. And we hope that will work not only for us here, but for all people in Europe and beyond, really for the international community. And this is needed. It's very needed. And yes, there was a lot to hear about war crimes here. And we understand that this is not ended, that it also will be proceed for weeks, for months, maybe longer. And that should not only be very well documented. We should really organize this tribunal. Because people are in prisons, people are in filtration, they are deported, they died. And we have this destroying every day, the missiles and others. And that's not only on empathy, that's really of saving the people in all the regions. So we understand that it's a hard time, but it's a coming time, and that we could get here really new friends, new colleagues, and common understanding how to work further. And I'm very grateful to all who did it for us. First, Andriy Kulykov, who was such a wise moderator for us. So warm, so interested, and with such a good knowledge of our work, and really also convinced that it's needed. Very, thank you. The whole team of the Secretariat, CivilMPlus, and with Yuliya at his head. So it's a lot of people you see. It's the permanent staff, but also all the volunteers who helped us the last days, the last weeks. Maybe they are not all now on the stage. It's also to all who are not here. That's also to all our co-writers and partners in the platform who did the roundtables, who prepared it for months, who discussed all these issues beforehand, and started this common understanding. And we did the next step, the next croc. And yeah, it is also to our partners beyond the platform, the Ukrainian embassy, who really helped us, who is very supportive. Also to the German MFA. We criticized the German government here, and I think with reasons. But there are also reasons to thank you. They also are doing this possible. And this is also support that really helps. And finally, all of you. Thank you not only for coming, but for doing. And for this like-minded manner, and for this trust in your future in a peaceful Ukraine, in a stable democracy, and in this open, common European space. And we will win this war, and we will have a new peace. We will find a solution where the Ukrainian should be reintegrated and sure. And we hope also, and we will work on it, that we will overcome also the dictatorships we have left in Europe, in Belarus, in Russia, and that may appear. Thank you very much, and we hope we will see you next year and earlier, every week and every month.